My name is Dami, and Dami is my name, but my screen name is Dami. And I've just produced my first film. I said just because it's not out yet. Probably going to be out end of summer this year. Because we're fingers crossed, everything. But it was not the easiest thing to do. You know, I've lived in this country, and I said, I didn't just decide I wanted to act. I knew I wanted to act. And then I got the opportunity to act first in 2008. And then afterwards, because I lived in this country, I did not live in Nigeria. And you know how acting is in this country. You do not get that much opportunity. There's, okay, a lot of people are doing films now, but back then they went. So 2008, and then next time I did was 2009. And it was in trickles, and I'm like, what is this? So I have to go back to Nigeria because I want to be an actress. Do I want to do that? No, not really. So I and a friend of mine were talking, and we were like, okay, what could we do? How could we make this thing roll for ourselves? If we go to Nigeria, you know the process. You're a lady, you go there, you meet the producers and directors, and they say, oh, you have to do this to be in a film. And it's just stressful. You don't want to go through all that. So what do? Can you produce? Right, okay, so I have to act and produce. All right, fine, no problem. How do I go about doing this? And we said the whole process, and then somebody introduced me to Mr. Chooks, who listened to everything I had to say, and he worked with me in making this film, which is coming out soon, the Rubicon, to come about. You know, I had no clue. Well, I just knew I wanted to do a film. So he told me, right, first of all, you would have your script. I had stories. I thought I had a script, but it wasn't a script, to be honest. There were stories. I wrote them down, like they had seen one to the end, but it was not a script. So he took time from his work, showed me how to, write a proper script from a story, plots, treatments, everything. He showed it to me, and then we went through that, and then he said, right, now you have to have money to do a film. Obviously, you have to have money. If you don't have money, you cannot do a film. Where'd you get money from? Because me, I didn't have any money. So I said, okay, fine. What do you do? So I said, maybe I know a few people who might, maybe if they come together and then, if somebody gives me £1,000 here and then somebody gives me £1,000, I was like, okay, fine. What you do is, we'll do a proposal, a business proposal where you show, you tell us how much you want, your budget, everything, okay, fine. I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool, that's cool. And then he showed me that too. So now I can say honestly that I think I know how to write a script now. And when it comes to getting money for funding, I can do that. If you do not have money for your film, sorry, you're not going to make a film. Okay. So it is quite difficult. And okay, fine. And then we started to prepare. Thanks to God, I got the money. Somehow it happened. And then we started to prepare pre-production. For some reason, I had a set time in my mind when I wanted to do the film. I was insisting I had to do the film. Was it December 2011? So, I did in February. And then we prepared for like a week. We didn't have a lot of time to prepare for the film. So we prepared, and obviously, you think you're ready and everything. And then we started to shoot the film, and everything that could go wrong went wrong. I brought one actor from Nigeria, and we had to put him up in a hotel. Things weren't available. We had to put him up in Mr. Trick's house. This is an actor from Nigeria, for crying out loud. Now, yeah, I did get money, but it wasn't a lot, and I'm going to have to pay an actor for his role because there's nobody that will come from Nigeria that will know what to pay. So there was, right, so I have to pay that one, and then I had a location manager, and I had to do it as well. I had a production manager, and then another thing you must also avoid, obviously you're going to learn, you must never ever give any role to any friend and say, oh, she's my friend, she'll help me. She's not going to collect money. Please don't do that, because you're going to end up doing the work. So I started to do production manager. I did location manager. Well, I got a costume girl who, she really helped me a lot. But then it's just, eventually, we did the film. I know time is short. So we did the film. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, but still we did the film. It snowed. The story did not have snow. We have to put snow inside the story. It was cold. We were freezing. There were times when Mr. Jukes had to get on his van to shoot because there was snow on the ground. It was the craziest. But then I'm not going to lie to you. It was the most fun I've had in all my life entirely. It was so amazing. And I go back to work. And I think after a week, like 2-3 weeks, my manager has called me. I was like, Dami, what's going on? Your mind's not, you're not yourself. Are you sure you want to work? And it dawned on me that actually, no, I do not want to work. here or in any office again, you know. So, but I like it. I don't mind. I will wait for as long as I need to, you know, to do it. So yeah, thank you. Obviously, the factors came into it. What delayed the release of the film? It's still ongoing. People ask me every day, so when is this film coming out? Because obviously we're all used to shooting a film in February, and then by maybe, I don't know, April is out. You know, but then obviously we ran into some editing issues, but it's all well on track. It's for me, in my mind, it's totally worth it. It was worth the wait. When it comes out, you guys are going to see it, no doubt. And I'm sure you would love it. Hopefully, if you don't love it, please say you love it too. So yeah, it's amazing. When you start to do that, you will not be able to do anything else. I went to Nigeria, came back, I stopped working in my office, and you know, we started to plan for other films. I don't do 9 to 5. Yeah, okay, I'm not rich. I am not, but I've not made any money in a while.